What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down what college coaches look for in wide receivers. So I hope this video helps you guys out. Hope it could teach you a few new things, but also, fellas, if you are a wide receiver and you would like 200 plus wide receiver drills, all broken down for you into a specific day-to-day schedule to follow, check out that very first link in the description below for our 8-week wide receiver on-field workout plan. Again, it's over 200 plus wide receiver drills. We give you video examples of each drills and map it out for you with the exact exercise to do on a day-to-day basis. So check out that very first link in the description below if you're interested, fellas. Let's get started with this video. So first thing I want to talk about that college coaches look for in wide receivers is their ability to do stuff after the catch. After they got the ball in their hands, can you make people miss and can you make big plays? At the end of the day, it all comes down to making big plays, and that's what they want to see on film. Because, fellas, you could go to a million camps, you could do a million showcases, you could do all the stuff in the offseason, play all the 7-on-7 you want, but if you don't have game film, you are not going to attract real college coach attention. And this is the types of plays that they're looking for on film. That's what we're going to be discussing today. So this first one here, this is an example of a wide receiver at Eastern Carolina University in a one-on-one rep, but again, making a guy miss. Now, again, in one-on-ones, like I said, it's not the most important thing. Game film is what's most important, but this is an up-close example. This is why I want to show this, because this is a big play that you can include on your film. Again, he's not just catching the slant and getting tackled, right? DB overcommits, DB's trying to make a play, he puts the brakes on and spins and gets upfield. Guys, these are the types of plays that college coaches want in their wide receivers. This is what makes you stand out, because you have to understand the wide receiver position. Think about how many states there are in the U.S. Think about how many of those states have football, or all of them, right? Think about how many high schools are in those states. And think about just in one specific class. Let's think about on the varsity team how many wide receivers there are. Then think about JV. Then think about freshmen. There are thousands of wide receivers all over the country that all can run and catch the ball pretty decently well, right? Thousands of them. So how are you going to be able to stand out? And it's making plays like this, making explosive plays. So catching a slant and turning that into a 40, 50-yard gain. Catching a ball, breaking a tackle, and scoring a touchdown. Not just walking into the end zone, not just catching a post and then getting tackled. Those are not highlights. They want explosive plays, especially if you guys would like to play at that Division I level that not everybody gets to play at. Those are the types of plays you have to make. And not to mention, if you're a wide receiver who's maybe in a smaller town, maybe you're a wide receiver on a team that doesn't get a lot of pass plays, you have to make the most of your opportunities. And this is making the most of those opportunities, aka finishing the play. So now, are making people miss and, breaking tackles, what if that's not necessarily your game? Are those the only types of plays that you can make? No, this is a perfect example of Johnny Wilson. He's a wide receiver at Florida State. Very, very big dude. So this is very, very easy for him to do, I will say. But these are types of plays that they want to see their guys make. And that is explosive, like catches, if you will. So catching in traffic, a jump ball, a back shoulder catch, a one-handed catch. These are all plays, again, that are going to stand out on film. So let's watch this play. Very tight coverage. Maybe you're not the fastest wide receiver in the world, but you have great ball skills. These are the types of plays that they want to see. Back shoulder, jump ball, puts this ball away. DB trying to make contact and knock this thing on the way down. These are plays they want to see. I would love, if I was recruiting a wide receiver, I would love to see this play in the first 5 clips of his highlight tape. A jump ball, goal line fade, back shoulder ball downfield. Catches that we do not expect you to make. A wide open over the shoulder catch, trust me on this, even the walk-ons at a Division I college level can make those plays. Even the walk-ons can catch a post when you're wide open over the middle. What can you do that separates you from the literally hundreds of thousands probably of wide receivers there are playing this game? Guys, it comes down to making these types of plays. Broken tackles, explosive touchdowns, showcasing your speed, and showcasing that you can make these types of catches. That's what those guys want to see, and that's what you should be focused on with your highlight tape. Okay, so now, when it comes down to your highlight tape, because we get a lot of questions about that, like what types of plays should I put on it? What should I include on my highlight tape, etc. Guys, you need maybe 1 to 2 minutes of those types of plays. Now, I get it. There are situations for everybody where like, okay, well, coach, I don't get a lot of passes thrown my way. We're in a run-heavy offense. Maybe I don't get those kinds of opportunities to make people miss. What else can I do? Guys, there are 2 other assets of the game that you can play, defense and special teams. A college coach is very, very talented at recruiting. He knows what he is doing. Trust me. He recruits thousands of athletes every single year. He watches thousands of hours of tapes. He knows a wide receiver when he sees one. But How is he going to know you if you don't have explosive plays, if you don't have a highlight tape to show for it? If you got 2 receiving plays, but let's say you got 20 plays on defense, don't neglect those plays on defense. If you're a receiver first, he is going to know. And at the end of the day, what's your goal? Getting school paid for. Maybe they ask you to play defense. Okay, like if you're going to pay for the school, who cares? You play college football. Guys, and I get it, and I know a lot of you put a lot of time and effort into the receiver position, but sometimes if you're not in the best situation, don't get a lot of opportunities, run heavy offense. Like we get all those questions and I read all those questions. And that's why I make these kinds of videos so you guys can understand that. You got to get on the field and you got to make big plays. If you don't want to play defense, play special teams. Return kicks, return punts, be on kickoff return, be on kickoff. You need explosive plays to stand out. Now, on the physical side of things, that's the film. What are they looking for in terms of like attributes of a wide receiver? And yes, your size gets you in the door. If you're 6'5" and you're a receiver and you're fast, you got a lot of doors that are going to open for you. But maybe you're not that tall. Maybe you're not that fast. What do they look for besides that? Because those are the obvious ones, right? So in today's game, there's a lot more one-on-one opportunities for wide receivers, a lot more chances for us to create separation. Route running is becoming a little bit more popular with wide receivers, which is great because that means that usually the guys who aren't the most physically gifted, aren't the fastest, can actually stand out amongst a crowd of people. So what are they looking for route running wise? And this is a great example of Zay Flowers showcasing everything that you would want in a wide receiver. So there's a famous clip of somebody asking Nick Saban, because again, that's arguably one of the best probably wide receiver use. Some of the best wide receivers come out of Alabama. Best route runners, at least, right? You got Amari Cooper, Julio Jones, Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith. List goes on, right? What did he look? What they asked him, what do you look for in a receiver? And he said speed in and out of his breaks. So that's like mastering the 3 facets of route running. And that's what you guys should be focusing on with your training. So the first part of a route is selling the route, right? Like you got to make the DB think that you're doing what? Running a fade. And that's what they're looking for at the next level. They're looking for your speed into the break. So you look at this example here of Zay Flowers. What is he doing before he hits that break point? Running full speed, that's the first part, right? The speed into the break. He's not taking choppy steps before the break. He's not preparing. He's not raising up his chest. All of those things are called indicators. He has no indicators leading into the break. If you guys can master this, that is a breath of fresh air for a coach, because that is something that so many guys struggle to break the habits of. This guy, he raises up, he raises his pad level, he slows down. Guys, that's not going to work because those guys understand the level of DBs that you're going to have to play against at any college level. Guys, there's no longer, receivers who can't catch. Those guys are all trained DBs when you get to the next level who are looking for these kinds of things, who all have a personal DB coach, who all are playing with some of the best DBs around, going up against the best receivers. Guys, they're very talented. So you need to have these details locked down completely if you want a chance to stand out. If you don't check off the boxes. Now imagine if you do check off the boxes, height-wise, speed-wise, and you can run routes. That's a way to separate yourself, especially if coaches are watching you at a camp, maybe you're at a showcase, whatever it is. So now, speed out of the break. What does that come from? So when you're running into a break, you got to self-fade, but at the break point, you have to change direction violently, because that violence of your hips, that violence of that like snap down creates energy to explode you out of the route. So when he gets into this break, you see how he's violent with his hips. He's sitting his butt down quickly. It's like somebody has a string attached to his chin and they're pulling that string straight down. That violence of that break creates energy that allows him to accelerate out of the break, and that widens distances from DBs. So speed in and speed out comes down to the speed that you have selling vertical, being violent with your hips, and then driving out of that thing, pumping those arms and running back to that ball. Guys, if you can master that, there's going to be a lot of doors open for you, especially at the next level. And again, at the end of the day, if your goal is to play college football, imagine again what a D3 or D2 coach might say if you master all of these things that they're looking for in Division I wide receivers. If your goal is just to get the school paid for, which I'm assuming is a lot of you, guys, these are the things that are going to open the door for you, right? So now, another thing they're going to look for, and this is mainly for all of you that are going to be attending camps within the next couple months, or maybe you're already going to camps. There's going to be a portion of the camp where you're going to go one-on-ones against a DB. You're going to be doing a one-on-one competition type period. Guys, college coaches want to see realistic routes. They want to see game realistic routes. They want to see you put in game realistic situations. They do not want to see the backyard football where you're drawing up plays, you're making up routes. They want to see realistic routes. And this is a great example of that. So this wide receiver is going to be running a fade route. So he's lined up on the middle of the numbers. And, we do a lot of camps, right? We're doing 15 camps this year. And they're more like, they're not recruiting camps. They're more skill-based camps. I'm sure some of you listening have been to them. Some of you have obviously heard me talk about them before. All of our camps this year, we'll go one-on-ones for the last hour of the second day. And every camp we go to, we see this happen. This wide receiver will line up. This DB's in off coverage, and he has to run a fade. They'll just try to run around him. And this DB gets hands, squeezes you to the sideline, and you're hugging the sideline. And then that quarterback will throw it, and it'll be out of bounds, and the receiver will throw his hands up and get all mad. It's like you're running the route with less than a yard from the sideline. That's no space for the QB. That's not a realistic route, and that's not what a coach wants to see. They want to see what this wide receiver does here. This is a perfect fade route. You see how he attacks his leverage. He moves him inside, gives this move called a vertical set, and look at the amount of space that he gave that quarterback to fade him. Guys, if you give a quarterback from top of the numbers to sideline to throw a fade ball, that is the easiest throw of his life. I don't care if he has a weak arm either, because he could underthrow this and put the ball on the 25, and you still have space to come back to it. So, guys, this is what you need to focus on, running realistic routes. And that comes from having a high football IQ. You got to know that this DB's lined up inside leverage for a reason. He's there to prevent the inside route. He's there to force you to the sideline. So if your goal is just to run around him, that's exactly what he wants. Going to get hands, squeeze you to the sideline. But if we know that if we threaten him with a post, a dig, a curl, he's going to move, because that's his responsibility with this leverage. So he attacks him inside. He makes him think he's running a post with this move called a vertical set. DB keeps his leverage because he's being disciplined, but look at all the space he gave up. Guys, college coaches want to see those types of routes. They want to see it on film. They want to see it in person. They want to see it at camps. That can only help you when you know how to run routes and you have that high football IQ. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. Always appreciate the feedback. It's always great to hear from you guys. And again, fellas, if you would like an 8-week wide receiver on-field workout schedule, everything wide receivers need to be doing on the field for route running, press releases, hands, everything, check out that very first link in the description below. We'd love to get you on that. I'll see you guys next time.